There's actually a lot to talk about. We have a lot going on, but it's a quiet start here in the Coastal Bend early this morning. Of course, it's humid. Of course, it's warm out there as we look at our 6th weather bug out in Rockport out at the Maritime Museum. This is a live look out there. Temperatures in the lower 80s, southeasterly winds at 10 miles per hour. A pretty nice start there. And as we look at our Nissan Automotive 6th weather bug off in Kingsville, looking at Highway 77. Hardly see any traffic going by. Temperatures into the middle to upper 70s. The coolest spot, though, up around Beeville, they're checking in at 73 degrees early this morning, 74 out in Alice, as well as for our friends in George West near Three Rivers as well, and down towards Heveronville too. But look at the dew points. Everyone is into the 70s. That's way up in the oppressive category. Pretty normal, but there is some cooler air that's going to be headed in our direction. I'll show you that in just a second. But as we look at our hour-by-hour forecast, we will look for some isolated to scattered thunder showers in the forecast as temperatures rise into the middle to upper 80s later on this afternoon. So keep that in mind if you have plans out and about. We have plenty of moisture that's coming in off of the Pacific as well as the Gulf of Mexico too, because we're kind of sandwiched in between two systems at this point. We're just looking at a little thunder shower in western Nueces County, and that's about it in the region. But there's still plenty more off in Laredo. We have some flood-provoking rains that are falling out near the hill country at this point. Again, lots of that moisture coming in off of the Pacific, and then we have that low-level moisture that's coming in off of the Gulf of Mexico. This is the front we're going to be watching, and this front will make it all the way to South Texas, bringing a little bit of some drier air. It's going to basically ease into South Texas as we go into early Wednesday morning. But notice that it's starting to fire up some pretty strong showers and thunderstorms in the Panhandle, and we'll see a little bit of that activity once the frontal boundary makes it closer to us. But it's a pretty messy start in the nation's midsection, all the way in the Central Plains and the Four Corners area. They're dealing with some snowfall. Pretty cold temperatures as well, and this rainfall extending all the way up into the Great Lakes. And that's because there's an upper level trough that has dug into the Four Corners area, and you can see it's doing its job, and there's a lot of moisture that's riding out ahead of that, so that's providing lift in the atmosphere, and that's why they're getting all that shower and thunder shower activity. But of course, all eyes now turn to the Gulf of Mexico, where we have Tropical Storm Michael, as we have hurricane watches that are already posted in parts of Florida. This is not going to be a factor in our weather here, but we will see indirect effects of that are increased swells and increased rip current risks too, so use caution there. As we go ahead and take a look at it, winds are at 70 miles an hour, gusting as high as 85 at this point. Movement is currently to the north at 7 miles an hour, and it is expected to reach a Category 2 strength hurricane as we go on into early Tuesday morning and on into Wednesday morning, topping out at 110 miles an hour and eventually pushing off into the southeastern half of the United States. And again, all the spaghetti plots are pretty much in agreement that this is not going to be headed to Texas. Some good news for us here, but many prayers for the folks off into the southeast. We also have Hurricane Sergio at this point, a Category 1 storm. Winds are at 90 miles an hour, and eventually this is going to push off into the desert southwest and throw some extra moisture over into West Texas. So we'll watch this closely, and the spaghetti plots all have this going into Baja California and eventually making its way over into West Texas and up in the Panhandle. But back here at home, as we look at our future tracker, again, we could see a little bit of that thunder shower activity near the coastline and then throughout the afternoon as well. And again, we're going to keep this chance as we go on into Monday afternoon and going into Tuesday afternoon as well. As we look at our NEC Co-op Energy 7-day forecast, we'll go to 88 today, 87 on Tuesday. Scattered thunder showers stay with us. There comes that front, and we'll see mostly sunny skies, less humidity on Thursday and Friday. And yet another stronger front in nature comes in early Sunday, and that drops temperatures into the upper 60s and cooler temperatures by Sunday morning there. Stay with us.